So here's something interesting that just happened. Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, is now taking some shots at Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida. So, I mean, I think in Gavin Newsom's mind, he's sort of positioning and posturing for a potential future run. I don't know whether it's 2024 or if he's thinking 2028. But he's going after the person who's viewed as the heir apparent to the Trump throne in the Republican Party. And so he's trying to throw his name in the mix here by doing this. So this is an ad that Newsom is running on Fox News in Florida this weekend. This is something else. So let's take a look and then we'll talk about it.
It's Independence Day, so let's talk about what's going on in America.
First
Freedom?
of all, let me just say, Newsom, homeboy, you got to change that haircut. You look like a sleazy used car salesman who tells 14 lies a minute. And look, I'm allowed to say this because I was a used car salesman. Oh, I was just a car salesman at one point. And homeboy, you fit the role better than anybody I've ever seen. Slick back, like greasy hair, and he's up there talking about freedom. Come on, dude. Change that hair, and also take your politician cadence and reel it in a little bit. Talk a lot more like a normal person, please.
It's under attack in your state. Your Republican leaders, they're banning books, making it harder to vote, restricting speech in classrooms, even criminalizing women and doctors. I urge all of you living in Florida to join the fight, or join us in California, where we still believe in freedom. Freedom of speech, freedom to choose, freedom from hate, and the freedom to love. Don't let them take your freedom.
Paid for by Newsom for California Governor 2022.
All right.
It's independent.
There you go. Look, all the things he's hitting DeSantis over, it's definitely fair game. But here's the problem. Gavin Newsom is a weak-ass candidate in his own respect, of course. He's a corporate Democrat through and through. This is a guy who repeatedly ran on Medicare for All and talked about Medicare for All. And then the second he had the opportunity to really get it done, he didn't even allow a vote to come up because he was representing his for-profit health insurance company donors. This was a big story. I remember covering it at the time. Crystal covered it at the time. It was a huge deal. We were right on the brink. Hey, we have the votes. Maybe we could get this passed. Didn't even allow a vote to come up. So for him, and then also his whole thing on I believe in freedom here in California. Well, look, keep it real. California was one of the strictest in terms of the COVID restrictions. And, the lockdowns were a little more stringent there than in other places. So, he frames this as, I'm pro-freedom, DeSantis is anti-freedom. But no, you're both against freedom, just in different ways. And it's true, look, the numbers do show the states that did stringent lockdowns and the states that were more, live and let live, they had similar COVID death rates. They did. So, one could probably argue, hey, if you're going to have the similar death rate anyway, maybe don't do the lockdown and do other mitigation, things, whether it's free vaccine everywhere, which of course we did have the vaccine for free, or monoclonal antibodies, and there are other ways to deal with it. And it's just a very easy retort. Even if you don't agree with the argument of hey, it's more pro-freedom to be anti-lockdown, even if you don't agree with that argument, there are many people that argument appeals to. And so for him to talk about freedom and then, in response, they were keeping restaurants shut even outside for way too long when, it's much less likely the virus spreads outside, etc. So for him to talk about freedom is kind of rich, not going to lie. Now, DeSantis, on the other hand, he also is deeply against freedom, and maybe even in a worse way, because, this is a guy who, he's even against legalizing marijuana. He's even against legalizing recreational marijuana. Now, for all of California's problems, they have legal recreational weed. They do. So DeSantis is against legalizing recreational marijuana. He's against raising the minimum wage, which is just preposterous. I mean, this is a guy who is a standard establishment Republican. More Perfect Union had that great video showing all of his corruption and how he basically does corporate socialism all day long while he hoses working people. So anyway, there you have it. But Gavin Newsom doing this is him trying to throw his name in the conversation for either a run in 2024 or a run in 2028. He's trying to be taken more seriously and viewed as a national candidate, not just California, and he's going after the top dog in the Republican Party. So, but look, DeSantis is not one to bite his tongue, so maybe he'll release some counter ad. I don't know. We'll have to see. Ever since Adpocalypse, when YouTube defunded all independent news and politics overnight, we haven't trusted them. We know they can pull the rug out from underneath us at any time. If you enjoy this content, please consider tipping $1 or $2 per month on the Secular Talk Patreon. Link in the video description box below. Thanks for your support.